Hello guys, Chaostalk here, and today I would like to welcome you at, well, how to call that? It's not like a speculation, neither it's a storytelling time. I could say that this is my, like, short take and thoughts about the end boss of Battle for Azeroth, because, yes, end boss. We haven't even started the expansion, yet we talk about end boss. Okay? So sit down, relax, have a drink, and join me on my journey to uncover the end boss of BfA. Let's start with the most obvious choice, pick, tip, or whatever, and that's N'Zoth, who should be floating somewhere here. Yeah, I got it right, because that was like my 8th or 9th reshooting, because I always point there instead of there. And yeah. So, why it should be N'Zoth? Well, it's pretty obvious. We have all that build up leading towards like him being that ultimate evil bad guy, badass, savage, master schemer with the nightmare and with possibly manipulating Alaria, and yeah. So he's the most obvious one. We also have Nyalotha stuff, which should pop up or could pop up, which we expect to pop up, is better to say. And N'Zoth could be there. He better should be there. Okay, after some slight technical difficulties and adjustments of camera, I am finally ready to proceed to number 2. Sylvanas Windrunner. Floating about here. Why Sylvanas? Well, look on the stuff we have on beta. She's built up into a Garage 2.0 way, and I am definitely not happy with that. Because that's not because I'm a Sylvanas fanboy or that I am a defender of her. Not. I think I like Sylvanas for that she's that half-evil bitch that doesn't give a fuck and simply blights everyone. But it's boring. It's boring storytelling. Just another warship that goes evil and is to be removed. But it's pretty frequent pick as the last boss of BfA. And I pray it's not the case. Because I said that. It would be boring as fuck. Or if they make a Lich Queen and move that to another expansion, then yeah, I will gladly kill her off. But as a warship of the Horde, another siege of Orgrimmar, because Undercity is now blighted, or will be blighted, oh sorry for spoilers of BfA, but I guess that you expect spoilers for BfA in a talk about BfA and boss. Shit happens. If not, then sorry to spoil you that Undercity is going to be destroyed and Teldrassil is going to be burned, okay? So let's move to another pick. Again, Greymane. Again floating here, and probably also floating here in his like a human and Worgen form. So, why Greymane? You have to ask? Okay, so let me answer the question. Well, he's a cunt. He's probably the closest thing to evil that is on the Alliance side right now. He can turn into fucking murderous killing spree in this. It's not that hard. Like in Before the Storm, we have seen that he is a coward and desperate man who kinda choose to be that way, and he still chooses to be that way. But I don't want to start a Greymane shit show, and I'll save it to another video. But if Sylvanas does something, like maybe killing his wife when the tree will burn, or and I'm not saying that she burned the tree, and I think she did not burn the tree, but as the solution of these events draws closer, As the pre-patch and the scenario draws closer, I just can't wait to see it. But back to why Greyman could be the last boss of the expansion. He may simply lose his shit. He loses his wife, he may lose his daughter, which is still alive, and he so nicely chooses to forget about her and only cry about how he lost Liam. And then he may like fall in love with Catherine Proudmore, Gina's mother, in case that his wife actually died, and then he might lose also her, and like that may be what will set him into a fucking frenzy, and he will just like switch into the Worgen mode, stop dancing, and just like go into all that. Whoa! Die, you can't! You did not kill the horde fast enough! You are definitely alive with them! Kill you! Kill you! Yeah. And that's probably how Greymane could be the end boss of the expansion. Next one on the list is the King of Diamonds, Magni Bronzebeard. Why Magni? We have two possible scenarios. Either the Horde and the Alliance will go so much after each other that he will try to fix it in like a bit harder way. Like he is right now he is not pleased with factions mining azurite and using it for weapons and kill one another instead of trying to heal the world. So eventually he might jump in like well, he may jump in like a. I didn't want to use this, but he may jump in like a General Talbot in Agents of Shield season 5. Sorry for spoilers, or better to say spoiler alert. Talbot eventually like accepted, like infuses himself with gravitonium, turned into graviton, and went around yelling, "I can fix this! I can fix this! I can fix this!" and eventually destroyed the whole world. But to use this parallel on Magni, he may go in this "I can fix this" mode and just focus on destroying the Horde and the Alliance, and eventually we will have to team up to save save the Horde and the Alliance by killing Magni. Which is pretty unlike scenario, and I doubt Blizzard would just kill Magni, even if it was like a really sad and well-written story, because like that guy was frozen or petrified. How is it spelled? Not sure. In a fucking stone in the middle of Ironforge for quite some time. Then they bring him out. He introduces us the information that Azeroth is a fucking titan, and then he does basically nothing for the world expansion. Then we have him on Argus when he tells us that Argus is a fucking titan. Then he tells us that we must save Eonar, and all of a sudden he teleports us to the seat of the Pantheon. He has a wet dream, and we returned. He is not pleased with the Horde and the Alliance fighting one another, and then he would like go full apeshit and just be an endboss of an expansion. I don't think this is the writing style of Blizzard. And definitely not the writing style of Christy Golden. At least I hope so. Because when I think about her books, like Dark Temple Saga, for example, from StarCraft universe, he kinda likes bringing in characters and making you love them and then just kills them off. So I will definitely leave that as an open possibility. Anduin. That's right. The High King of the Alliance could also end up being an end boss. Surprising, right? There are few possible ways. Probably just one possible way, and it's still predicted by his plot armor, but he may go fucking crazy over the light and became a fanatic just as Cyril in the alternative universe, and just focus on destroying the Horde in a way that he would like it would threaten the Alliance, so he would have to put down basically in a way as Garrosh was put down. This would be a literal Garrosh 2.0. Why I think that there is a plot armor protecting him? Well, there is a comic, a religion comic, Son of the Wolf, which took place slightly after Tomb of Sargeras, as we have find out later on. And that there is like that scene at the end where Anduin is just sitting at that ship that looks like Exodar, and he just like tells Valen to launch the attack, and he's there like a leader of the Army of the Light. So I would say that this prophecy still stands, because we have nothing to say that it does not. So Anduin will definitely not be a last boss of the expansion, but I thought that it would be good to mention the possibility. Of course, he still may be, but like smashing some sense into him, I wouldn't like that. Don't get me wrong, I would definitely like to decapitate Anduin Wrin, but he's protected by plot armor, and simply smashing him and making me realize that going into Space Crusader Deus Vult shit is not entirely like a smart idea. Nah, not good. Now let's move to a more interesting, or at least for me interesting, mentions or sites or something like that. And that is let me introduce him in the proper way. Minions, servants, soldiers of the cold dark, obey the call of Kel'Thuzad. Kel'Thuzad. So, why I think Kel'Thuzad could make an appearance? This comes from my small observation how the last few expansions of World of Warcraft were spaced, or like how it were going. We can say that Mist of Pandaria has parallels with Warcraft 1. Like the Horde attacks a peaceful land and tries to eradicate everyone and live there instead and claim its values and all that kind of shit. And eventually, like, they lose because of the... Well, they didn't kinda lose, but their progress is halted. Then we can say that fuck off! Warlords of Draenor. We can say that warlords are like Warcraft 2, because for the love of holy fuck, we went to Draenor. You don't need any other parallel. Then we can say that Legion is like Warcraft 3, because we fought the Legion, we had the presence of the Lich King, all that kind of stuff. And yes, if you don't know, Lich King was present in Legion, and he was present during Death Knight class campaign and the class mount quest, and if you have not played Death Knight, I highly recommend you to do that, because that is glorious. But that leads me to believe that BfA could be like vanilla. So, what would that mean? That would mean that you would get Black Dragon shit, Elemental shit, Old Gas shit, Troll shit. By the way, these two shits we already have confirmed. And... what was that next? Yeah, Scourge shit. Kel'Thuzad. Yep. Blah. And also there is that one thing that I think each of us heard rumors about Shadowlands being like a content in the next expansion before BfA was even announced. Then we've got the Una quest line in Argus, and it kinda like became a slightly bit more confirmed. So, I would definitely not rule out the possibility that we might see Shadowlands. How would Shadowlands ally with Kel'Thuzad? There is that one line regarding Kel'Thuzad's death in Wrath of the Lich King. there is literally said that his soul is lost in the Shadowlands, which leaves us two possibilities for Kel'Thuzad. If we enter the Shadowlands in 8.3 and maybe like a if I point out Kel'Thuzad to be the end boss of the expansion, then we definitely will not go into Shadowlands to kill N'Zoth. But if we go there for some reason, and we may find out and kill Kel'Thuzad, and like kill him for good, fucking eradicate him from existence, and just like be like, oh, fuck off, which would be a fucking shame because I fucking love Kel'Thuzad. He's such a great character. And then there is the second possibility. Yes, I fucking want Kel'Thuzad to return. That is that we go to Shadowlands to kill N'Zoth or the other old gods, and we find out his soul, himself, and he will be our guide. Of course, he will be working on behalf of the Lich King, because he's the only true friend the Lich King ever had, which is, by the way, one of the reasons why I so like Kel'Thuzad. And eventually, yeah, we will team up with him, he will be our guide, he will lead us through all of that Shadowlands stuff, and everyone will be happy. Mostly me, because Kel'Thuzad will be back. But to the option Kel'Thuzad being the end boss of the expansion, possible, but probably not gonna happen. I have talked about Kel'Thuzad, and I have hinted on the possibility of the 8.3 being Scourge themed. And that brings up another possible end boss of Battle for Azeroth, the fucking Lavaman Bolvar for Dragon, aka the Lich King. Which should be floating like here or... fuck! Here. So, why it could be Lich King? Well, we know that Lich King was active in Legion. With the parallel I have hinted before, when I was talking about Kel'Thuzad, it is possible that we really may get the 8.3 being like a return of the Lich King or a return of the Scourge or something like that. And we also have that one old kind of a leak that was done by Ecolon, where he presented us information about Bolvar and Alexstrasza making an appearance in Battle for Azeroth. And we can fairly say that it is slightly confirmed, because we have data mined stuff pointing out at the Red Dragons and Bolvar or Dead Knights to be interacting, and the Dead Knight class mount has the Aftermath, and we have Bolvar's daughter, and the possibility of like Bolvar's wife being Kaelia, and yes, Kaelia Menethil might be Bolvar's wife, if you have not heard this theory yet. And yeah, so that is definitely something pointing at Bolvar playing a role, and like there is another option how they could make Bolvar play a role and make a Return of the Lich King the whole expansion and redo Northrend, but come on! I know we all love Wrath of the Lich King to an extent. For many of us it was the first expansion we've ever played, like me included, although it was on a private server and before I managed to level up They Switched the Cataclysm, but I still have the pre-cut up memories, and yeah, and the fucking Halls of Reflection nightmare. Yeah, but really, like, reusing Wall Northrend would suck. They must bring Bolvar back in another way to make it fluent and not repetitive. So my guess is that they will either make him like an anti-hero, or they will like make him a boss in a content patch, and probably the end boss, because he's a fucking Lich King. Come on. We all want to fight Lich King once more. So that's for Bulwark being the possible end boss of the expansion. With Bulwark for Dragon out of the way, let's talk about another, not former, but still a paladin, who could end up to be a end boss of BfA. Turalian. We've got some hints that the light is fanatical and single-minded and tries to eradicate everything which is not light. And with the Void Elves, the faction wielding the arch nemesis of the light, being the part of the alliance, and eventually Alleria Windrunner, and we can say also Locust Walker being in the leadership of the alliance, Turalian might eventually lose the shit and just go on a fucking crusade. But now it wouldn't be the Burning Crusade, it would be the Holy Crusade. And yeah, so why I think it's possible? Well, I don't think that all that alternate universe shit going on with ERL is just like for the sake of getting Magharworks into the Horde. That is a foreshadowing of what is gonna happen with the Lightforge in the main universe. And I think Turalian will play a big role, and I also think that that is why Uther's Tomb got all those visual upgrades pointing at Uther's reappearance in BfA. Because if there is someone who will stand against the tyranny of light, and he's not one of those evil forces, then it's definitely Uther the Lightbringer. Because the Blizzard has potential to continue his how to say that, like the precursor they set for him in Wrath of the Lich King, where he was the one who who resisted Arthas and the Frostmourne and went out in House of Reflection to warn Jaina and Sylvanas and tell them how to actually kill Arthas. And I think it would be great if they continue with this Uther, than just making him another whole-handed maniac just like Kalia. Okay, so now we have also Turalian talked about, fucking Crusader, and that leads me to my last guess, my last pick, and yeah, stay tuned to find out. And now to the last pick. Alleria Windrunner. Why Alleria Windrunner? Well, I am led to believe that Alleria will lose her shit hair control and will become the ultimate last boss of the BfA because of the 1,000 Years War visions she got when she was in the Void. She saw, and now I hope I will get all of those right. She saw herself falling from a cliff into eternal darkness, which means losing the shit. Then she saw herself being hunted by Arator and the army of paladins. Later on, she saw herself killing him and laughing at it. Yeah. Then she saw herself kneeling before the ancient evil that sleeps beneath the Azeroth's oceans, which is N'Zoth. Then she saw herself killing it. She killed N'Zoth and absorbed his power and took his place. So yeah, we may be screwed off and not actually fight N'Zoth, because he will be consumed by Alleria, or maybe merged with Alleria. That's another point, or another theory of what might be going on eventually. But yes, I think Alleria will lose her shit. She will be hunted by the paladins. She will kill Arator, eventually kneel before N'Zoth, and then kill him, eat him, and become him. Kinda. Take his place. Or there might actually be a serious civil war between the Void and the Light going on in the Alliance, and eventually, Turalian might go the holy Nazi Crusader mode, go after Alleria, she might kill him, which would fulfill that Arator's vision as he kneels before his father's body. He might go a ship, try to kill Alleria. Alleria will lose her shit, kill Arator, which will force her to like abandon everything she knows and go to Nazot, kneel there, kill him, eat him, fucking fly, get the fuck off, and then like chill in the Nihilota presumably before we get there and kill her. Yeah, like really, if I have to bet at any currently existing character to be endboss of BfA, it's Alleria. Because of that story I told you just now, because I like that story and how it would play out. And there is, like, there might be the point where what Vol'jin and the Loa foresaw, like Sylvanas being the one to save us all. It may be because she might be the only one willing to kill Alleria. Because we know that the Void tried to force Alleria to take Sylvanas away. If you have not seen the Windrunner comic, then go for it, because that's fucking glorious, and the Void whispers in Alleria's head go apeshit there. So, like, that leaves us with two possibilities. Either Sylvanas is such a big threat to the world that she simply has to be put out because, like, she wants to kill everyone, raise them as the undead, and as the undead would be bound to her will, which is not the case with the Forsaken, then there would be nothing to control for the Void, or something like that. Or there is a personal threat to Alleria, and the Void needs Alleria for something. So maybe that's why I mentioned the merge, because I wanted to mention it now, but I mentioned it before, which means that I once more fucked up my script. Maybe Nazot is too much locked in his prison, and he can't do anything other than influencing things around him. And the prison is indestructible. So he may need Alleria and her newly found Void skills to destroy his body and absorb his essence. So he eventually possesses Alleria. And that's why, like, differently. And the only one who will eventually be able to stand its ground against this Void being on steroids is Sylvanas, because everyone else will be just too influenced by the Void power, by the whispers and all that kind of stuff. So my guess is that the end cinematic of BfA, not the end boss will be Alleria, maybe Alleria / Nazot, but the end cinematic will be a Windrunner brawl. Two Windrunners fighting each other. Marisa will be dead by the time already. She will be on the bad side of the blight, and eventually both of them will kill each other. That's my guess of how Windrunner sisters will die. If Sylvanas has to die, of course. That's another point, or another question. And yeah, okay, so Sylvanas will eventually kill Alleria in cinematic, because she is kinda immune to the Void Whispers, or at least highly resistant. And Alleria will consume the Zot, become the end boss of the expansion, and yeah, that's my call for the end boss of the expansion. So, if you have liked my God knows how many minutes of rambling, then give this video a like. If you have disliked this, well, dislike it. I will not blame you for anything. Then use the comment section down below to tell me what you did not like, if you disliked, and what your thoughts about the end boss of the expansion Battle for Azeroth are. Like, are you with me on the Alleria ship, or do you think it will be Sylvanas? And if so, then tell me, how could Blizzard make it not to be boring? Or do you think it will be Kel'Thuzad? Are you so much on the bring back Kel'Thuzad club as I am? Because if so, I will be happy to know that, because for now I feel like I am the only person in this fucking world to won't get that come back. And then of course, if you want to support my channel, feel free to share this video or any of my other videos wherever you can and whenever you want. Just spread the word that I exist and I talk for 30 minutes about endboss of the expansion we have not even started. Okay, and then, if you have disliked this video or my face or my new haircut so much that you would like to ruin my life, then feel free to take link to this video, to any of my other videos, or to my channel somewhere, and just post it on your Facebook, Twitter, Discord, or maybe even on your YouTube channel with wording something like, "Hey guys, come, let's hate this fucker. He's a stupid cunt who doesn't know what he's doing. Come, let's ruin his life." Because just like, well, do it. Let the fun begin. And then, if you want to support me a bit more directly, and you want me to allow, or you want me, or you want to me using more professional software for editing than I am right now, feel free to venture to my Patreon page, and link to my Patreon page. Sorry. The link to my Patreon page is in the description. My current goal is to get enough monthly income so I could pay for the Adobe pack with the... how is that called? Give me a second. I have to remember. Yeah, with Photoshop and Adobe Post Editor or Final Editor, or how is it called? Just that professional pack for artists and editors. Yeah, and yeah, so that's probably all I wanted to say to you today. So thank you for watching, and well, I hope you liked this video, and I will see you guys somewhere in the future. So bye bye.